Hello guys, Catriona here. You're used to seeing my face on, I think just a wee bit up because, yeah, not a wee bit up the way.
You're in the bottom then.
That's fine. So tonight, hi Janie. So tonight we're going to be discussing Scottish tours and Scottish tourism at the moment. We're also going to be discussing the virtual Outlander tour tomorrow. And apologies, I'm not long out of shower, so my hair is still kind of drying. I'm letting it kind of air dry tonight. So I went for a run not long before this broadcast, so I thought I would quickly sort myself. So we're all in lockdown. I don't think anyone's caring how I look tonight, but anyway, I will make more of an effort tomorrow night. So the tour, we're having a virtual tour tomorrow night at 11 p.m. UK time. So a lot of people have been asking me today on both Instagram and on our Facebook page what the plans were. So the plan is for 11 p.m. UK time. So that is, I believe, 8 a.m. in Sydney, Australia, 3 p.m. in California time, like Western US time, or 6 p.m. Eastern time. So that is the times for everybody. If you're like confused about the time, I've gone and checked it because I think somebody was under the impression that it was going to be like at 5 a.m. in the morning US time, but no, it's the opposite. I chose this time. It's quite late for me. It's going to be 11 p.m. my time, so I'll probably only finish about 11:30 at night. Sorry, 11:30 at night, 12:30 at night. And then I'll be uploading it and everything. So I'll probably have a long night tomorrow. So I'm going to have a long lie-in tomorrow morning so that I'm all refreshed for it all. And we've done that specifically so that people from the US can access it. Because I know that just trying to reach all the different time zones is really difficult. But that's what I've decided to do. And then on Thursday, I have another virtual tour, but that's at 1 p.m. UK time. So it's a little better for people over in Australia, New Zealand, or even Europe, except that one is going to be Stirling Castle and the Trossachs. So I'll be taking you all around Stirling Castle, Loch Lubnaig, Callander, even Rob Roy's grave up at Balquidder, Loch Lomond, obviously, the Drovers Inn, the Falls of Falloch, all of those sorts of things. So we'll be doing that on Thursday. So that's another one. So don't worry, I try on Tuesdays. Every Tuesday we'll have the tour at 11 p.m. UK time, and every Thursday it'll be 1 p.m. UK time. And maybe I'll revisit tours that we've already done at a later stage. So don't worry if you can't, always join in on the times that you would like, or it doesn't work for you that particular day because you're working or you've got, doing something with the kids or whatever it might be. So I can help with that. But for those of you who want to see the tour that I'm doing tomorrow, it's all getting recorded live. So I'll be posting that just like we did the Argyll tour. It will be a private link that I'll send out to anyone who joins that one. And to access that, it's just going to be the cost of a coffee. So it's not going to be too much, but it just means that, you're keeping me ticking over, and I'm hoping that I'm giving you guys really nice content and things that just take your mind off of what's going on. And I'm putting a lot of time and effort into it at the moment. So yeah, we need to see how that goes. And other really exciting news, we finished our shop today. Hi, Graham. We finished our shop today. which will be, it's all done in the back end. It's not quite done in, hi Karen, nice to see you here. It's all organized. It will be going live at some point this week, and I'll let you guys know. So just keep an eye out for it. And on that, you can get all sorts of things. We've got our jackets, our polo shirts, our gilets, really lovely printed Outlander location notebooks. We've got lovely calendars. We've got tote bags. We've got teddy bears, postcards, all that kind of stuff. So we're just doing everything we can to try and keep myself from going back to work in another IT support center, basically, guys. I don't know if you guys know, but I used to be one of those people that used the phone to fix your computer, and it'll be like, have you turned it on and off again? Like, that was my go-to phrase. I was an IT before I was a tour guide. So you guys are keeping me from going back to the worst job of my life. I know some people love doing stuff like that, and good for you, but it was my it's my idea of pure and utter hell. So anyway, so hi Helen, I see Helen's come in, and we've got Patty in and Cole in, and thanks guys for joining in. For those of you who are on Instagram, we're going to be coming off Instagram fairly shortly and coming back onto Facebook and to YouTube. So if you do follow our Facebook and YouTube channels, it's probably a good idea to go there, because shortly I'm going to take you on a little video that I did in like February, March time of this year. I went up to Culross in Fife, and I did a walkthrough for people who have mobility restrictions or mobility issues, so that people could see what it was like, primarily for the likes of the Old West Kirk. And the reason I include that is because usually on our tour, so many people want to go and see the Old West Kirk, but they might not have the right fitness to be able to do it, or they might have some sort of, they might need a stick or a wheelchair or something. And it just gives you a good idea of what the terrain is like and whether it's going to be possible for you. So if you are, if you are interested in that kind of thing, I'm going to be sharing that over here very shortly. So just a few things. I see quite a few of our guys are now like, yeah, we're off to Facebook to watch it there. So awesome. I just thought I'd come on the Instagram just so that you know, and I'm not neglecting you guys over there. So we've got Johnny in and Ian's in. Hi guys, nice to see you tonight. I am just going to share it, and hopefully it works tonight, because we had some terrible technical issues, and it was more to do with me than it was anybody else, because I didn't have all my pictures like locally on my machine. So my poor machine was trying to access too many things while live streaming at the same time. It was just too much for it to handle. So second time lucky. So hi Lisa Marie over there on Instagram. If you would like to see what we're going to see, I'm going to be doing a walkthrough over on our Facebook and our YouTube. So if you go and have a wee look there, Lisa, it's just the same / Scotland. You'll find it there, and it'll give you a good idea on the village of Culross. Hi Lindsay, nice to see you here. Finally, I can put a name to a face. Lindsay, one of the many ways of spelling it, because my sister's also called Lindsay. Same spelling as you, except with an A-Y and not E-Y. Awesome, Lisa. Yes, if you just go / Scotland, you'll see that we're currently live, and you'll be able to access exactly what we're seeing on Facebook. So let's get started then, guys. Let's see if I can do it. Right. And I need to make sure that my sound is off as well, or on. And I'm not going to speak now for a little bit, because if I do, I'm going to make an echo, because I think I have to put that on in a second. Just give me a wee second. We've got so many videos here now. It's quite funny. And we've got our playlists. So guys, you can just watch me finding it. As I said, I was in a shower. Where did you put it? Do you know? The Culross. You don't know where you put it. Yeah, you uploaded it, remember? That's what I'm trying to find it on YouTube. Oh no, I found it. I found it, guys. Found it. Okay, so just give me a wee second. I'm just going to go back to the beginning. And I'm going to share my screen, and let's see if this works for us. So guys, Helen, hi Helen. So you see us over on YouTube and Facebook now. So let me just open this in a new screen. There we go. Fingers crossed, eh? I don't think you guys want to see my calculator. Right. Oh, I know why. You know the term Egypt? The great word. Okay, so let me just get this already. And hopefully it doesn't lag. Outlander Scotland walk of Culross. Okay, yay! So let me go back to it. And I'm going to put the sound on. The pathways to show you the accessibility of these various places, just to make sure. Okay, I'm going to start it from the beginning, guys. So here you go. Welcome everyone to our of Culross. Now you can see it. And you can see it's a really old, muddy country path. The reason why I start this video is quite steep, and it's all cobblestones, which can sometimes be quite slippery. So I find better. Hope you guys are enjoying. If you go over to Facebook, you can.
That's
No. Here. If you do that, you can't go back.
Did you only sharing this?
Yes.
Tell you what the problem is. You're not sharing the audio from this.
That's what I saying.
There was a tab where you.
Is no one hearing it?
I think so.
Okay, just put it on cam mic. Cam mic, just on it.
No, that was not where it was. It was here.
No, it's not there. That's it. I'm gonna put the sound on.
I can't remember where the setting was.
Well, can you look at it?
No, because you.
Can you just check that up for me, please?
I can.
Hi guys. So just quickly, are you getting the audio? Just before I carry on, because some people are saying that we're not getting the audio. You guys got to watch me in helmet try to work this out here. Hi Kim. So you should be able to hear it, and I'm confused as to why it's not allowing you to. Can you hear it? Just let me know. I think some person said it was coming in and out. So the audio is very hard to hear. Give me a wee second. Let me see if I can. I'll come off it again, and then I'll come back into it. It might be something that I'm doing.
Screen share and then share it again. There was a setting that says include the audio.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, and I can't see where that was. So if you go.
Okay, so give me a wee second. I'm going to come back.
Right.
There's nothing that says audio, just so you know.
Oh, to the entire screen.
Right.
You just clicked off the wrong one.
No, this is the right one.
No, go back to the thingy.
Oh.
Go back to thingy.
The thingy.
The streaming software.
Okay.
Okay. Get rid of that. Okay. Now share again.
Right. Well, that's still there. Okay.
Share again.
Right. Sorry, guys.
Share the entire screen.
Oh.
Okay. And share audio.
Oh, okay.
Share.
It won't let me. I have to click on it first.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So you're going to see me a minute.
Right.
Oh, great.
No, go back to your thingy. Go back to StreamYard.
Oh.
Go back to StreamYard.
Right.
Right. And now add that. Okay. And now you go to your video and play it.
Okay, so let's go back to the start. Okay, off we go. Hopefully this works. Welcome everyone to
Now mute yourself.
our
See that? See that?
muddy country path. But the reason why I start this way is that the other way, and you'll see that at the end of this video, is quite steep. and it's old cobblestones, which can sometimes be quite slippery. So I find that if we start off on a level playing field, walking down is slightly easier than walking uphill. That's my experience anyway. But here we are. So where we're walking to today is a place called the Old West Kirk, the ruins of the Old West Kirk. It's about an 800-year-old church sitting out in the middle of nowhere near the village of Culross. And Culross is quite significant in Scottish history, as well as the Outlander significance. Where I'm walking to right now is the location for where they filmed the Black Kirk. And for those of you who are fans of the show, you will remember the Black Kirk is where Jamie and Claire go to try and source what is poisoning the townspeople or the little boys who are going and playing around there. The priest believes that it is the devil, that these children are possessed. But Claire, being from the 20th century, understands that there's something else going on here. And that is where she makes the discovery, along with Jamie, that the children are eating lily of the valley instead of wild garlic, of what they thought they would be eating. So it's quite a significant part, and it's where we start to see a little bit of chemistry between Jamie and Claire. And it starts with anyone who's interested in different herbs. It's just quite a nice scene, and it's terribly beautiful. It's not very well used because of its location. You can see as I'm walking, it was a half-a-mile walk. You saw that at the start of the video. It takes me now a good pace. I mean, I'm walking pretty quickly. It takes me about 10 minutes to walk there. And that path there is incredibly muddy. I should say that this was filmed in February, in quite a wet February as well. A lot of rain and wind, but this is quite common for this particular pathway. It doesn't take a lot of rain. And because it's out in the fields, it does get quite sodden very quickly. So I don't think I've ever visited at any time of the year where I've not found it to be a little mushy underfoot and maybe a little bit difficult. So it's just worth thinking about that if you come with us. I should say, if you have a reasonable level of fitness, this should not be a problem for you. But if you do have any mobility issues or making big steps or maybe jumping over a puddle or something, this will not be for you. So it's just worth bearing that in mind. Because as I said, the other route, although it's not as muddy, it is incredibly steep and also very wet. You'll see why on my way back down. I just love how peaceful it is out here. It doesn't take very long for you to feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. It's very quiet. Lots of birds. You can see at the moment, because it's winter time, the trees are bare. It gets very full and very plush in the summertime. So it changes every time you walk down it. So it really is a very peaceful and quite a nice walk. I like doing it when we have our guests. It keeps my own step count up. But I think it is important sometimes when you are touring just to get out, just to walk a little bit. Rather than seeing everything from a bus, if you can, that is. It just touches you a little bit more and you can kind of feel the place a little better. You're taking it at a much slower pace. You're getting to feel like you're in nature. And there's a lot of evidence to suggest that that's just so good for your own mental health. And I suppose it's one of the reasons why you're coming to Scotland in the first place, is to get a sense of our history and our countryside and our nature. So this is a really nice walk. Culross itself is not even an hour from Glasgow, so it's not very far to get there, and very accessible to be in this kind of countryside. So it's one of the reasons why I love Scotland so much, is we're very much spoilt for walks and paths not too far from our towns and cities. So as you can see, we're still walking around, and bouncing along, and glad I'm doing the voiceover, because by this point I think you could hardly hear anything for the sound of me breathing very heavily because I was quite out of breath. I was on my own when I filmed this for uses of obviously showing you guys what the path is like. So I was doing it quite quickly because, you know, I'm going to an old, disused churchyard and graveyard. So I'm a little bit superstitious, and I was being as quickly as I could. But here again, so this is another way we could have walked down that path just to the right and joining it here, but that's quite out of the village, and it's not the best place to park either. But that just gives you an idea. If we were to walk back, we could walk back that way, and I have done that with a number of my guests in the past. So again, you're just seeing it's not terribly difficult to follow the path, but this is where it gets particularly difficult, and you can just make out, because it's a lot of farmland, you can see where the farm vehicles have come through and kind of turned up all the mud and allowed the water to pool there. So it does get quite mushy. And there you go, I'm just figuring out, how am I going to do this? And I walk up the side. There we go. And I actually stuck to this for the rest of the time. So that gives you a kind of idea of how it goes, and how you're kind of needing to maybe stand up a little higher and just watch your footing, because you're on a slightly uneven slope there as I walk along. That's the West Kirk in front of us, where you can see those trees now coming up. So I'm not too far away. And I'm basically dancing across now, trying to figure out how am I going to navigate all these puddles. So I thought it would be quite a good video, and I hope I'm not boring you too much, but it's quite a good video just to show you the path, so that even if you're not coming on a tour with me, it gives you a good idea of how to get there, but also on how difficult it can be to get across. But we're nearly there. And this is the fun part. I'm going to have to jump over this lot of slush, and I'm figuring it out. There you go. I'm thinking, am I going to cross over here, or am I going to walk up the back here? And I ended up doing that just to find the path of least resistance, or the chance of getting completely knee deep in the mud. Here we go. Going to see me do a wee jump here. There we go. It doesn't look like a lot, but it is a decent jump. You know, I have to jump to get to the other side. So unless you're happy and you've got your boots on, you can just trudge through that mud. But if not, maybe wearing welly boots or some kind of walking boots is good. If you're wearing your sneakers or your sandals, this is probably not the walk for you. But here we are in the old graveyard, and some of these gravestones are 16th century. So that's me just coming in now, and it's just such a peaceful, beautiful place. You can see why they chose it. And as you come up here, you can see there's the ruins, and it's just beautiful with how the old stone just looks like it's been left. So here I am standing inside the church. Just going to show you the various keystones inside. Not that stone, but the other stone on the other side. So it is absolutely just a ruin. So you can go and walk there and just take a few moments to reflect and just get away from the hustle and bustle. So even if you're a local person watching this and you're thinking about doing something different, going for a different walk, or just escaping the normal stresses of daily life, this is a really nice place to come to. And like I said, it's really accessible from both Edinburgh and from Glasgow. A number of different bus services can take you from Dunfermline and through Kincardine in Fife. So there you have it. And just down in that area there, there's the old pit where they used to put the people who died of the plague. So it's quite a significant place historically as well. And Culross is a very historic place to visit. You can just see there. I'm just one of those people. I love walking around gravestones. I love reading them, seeing what the people did. There are some modern gravestones in there as well, but it's one of the places you can see the older stones. So this is me now leaving, and this is just to show you the path back down into the village. And you can see it's quite steep. And look at that, it's just cobbles, and it's quite wet as well. There's a little stream that runs down, a little burn that runs down the left there. And sometimes if it's been particularly wet, it does pull into the pathway, which makes it a little bit more cumbersome. So that is why I don't like walking up it, taking my time as I go down. But it's a nice circular route. So if we do Culross on a private tour, unfortunately, we don't have time to do this on one of our day tours. I'll go into things that you can see from our day tour. Just because we don't have as much time. We're trying to fit quite a lot into one day. So we just do the main Outlander sites. And because of the accessibility issues with the Old West Kirk, it's not something that we tend to visit because it takes a lot of time, and a number of our guests would not be able to make that trip. So it's something we can do as part of a private tour. So if this looks like something you can do, if you want to visit, please do get in touch, and I'd love to take you around. This is myself doing the footage here, so I do apologise as well. I'm no means an expert in film or TV making. I just want to show you all what it's like and how beautiful it is as well. But that's there. You're looking over to the Old West Car Park. So a lot of the time we do park in there. So it makes a nice circular route, so we can sometimes tend to end actually where we were. But this is a very busy road, as you can see. Doesn't seem like it, but it quite often is. So I have to walk into the car park, as you can see, to navigate back into the village, because unfortunately there's no pavement on this section of road. But it's fine, and it's quite a nice we walk through the car park. You've got beautiful views over there, over the Forth and over towards where they had the old coal mine, established in 1590, imagine that. And obviously Grangemouth is on the other side, the oil refinery. So I'm usually parked in one of these bays here. So if you ever do get lost on one of my tours, this is a good point of reference. And you'll see if you're on other tours such as Rabbie's and Timberbush, they also come and park in here. Just because it's such an old ancient village, there's not many places for buses. And that's me just pointing out there, the bus park. You can just make out, I think that's a van. I think they had, in fact it was the council van. They were in cleaning the streets while I was there. So usually the buses are parked where that van is. So as you can see now, I'm thinking, I could go back on the road. No, I'm going to stick to the main path. It's probably a bit smarter. And you can see why. It's quite sharp corners and bends with high walls, so you can't really see the traffic on the other end. So you want to make sure that you're not stuck. But even just as a wee day out, you come and park your car here. It's lovely. Just where I'm walking now, there's a really big children's play area and park, and they've got outdoor table tennis. And just to the right there are the public facilities, the restrooms. They are paid, so if you're coming down here, make sure you have a little bit of change. There's not much in the way of public toilets or other facilities unless you were to use one of the restaurants or pubs. There's a pub further down. I didn't go as far as the pub in this particular video. It's called the Red Lion. It's a lovely pub to go. It's got a really great menu, which is good for people with, in particular with dietary requirements. And it's got a really hilarious toilet for the ladies as well. I won't spoil the surprise if you wanted to go into the pub. But here we are, we're walking down the path, down towards Bessie's and the palace. And this building here that I'm just looking at, that was just for sale. It was the old schoolhouse. Imagine living there. It's absolutely beautiful. But only £400,000. I like it. Somebody told me that it's only 400,000. I was like, oh, nice. But anyway, here we are at Bessie's. Now, Bessie's, at this point, I did come back here on this day. I went and got my coffee. But Bessie's is a great place run by Tom. It's a lovely old cafe and an old brewery. And it's got nice, fresh, like soups and sandwiches and things like that that you can buy, and good coffee as well. So I do like to go in here. Here I am just passing the palace. I'm just going towards Graham. Graham wasn't in this day and he was currently closed for a minute, so that's why I didn't go in. But that's the townhouse just coming up to the left. And that is where my pal Graham, Harris Graham, has his photography gallery. So it's lovely stuff, and he's a really lovely guy, really great artwork. Very passionate about Culross and about the history of the area. And that thing just right next to me there was the old Tron. So I'm just walking back, just past the palace. Now I'm going up Bessie Stairs. So this is up, or Bessie Steps. These are the old steps that take us up to the old hanging gardens. Now, for Outlander fans, the palace itself was used for various different inside scenes with Derby and so on. But the gardens round the back were used for the gardens of Leoch, so where you'll see a lot of Clare and Galis while they're out picking herbs and so on. That was filmed just to the back here, so it's really lovely. And if we're on a private tour, we will go in and visit. It is a seasonal property, so it's not always open, which is why we like taking the walk up the back, because it still gives you the great views. But it is quite a walk. Most of our guests have managed it, but if you do have any mobility issues, this section might be a little tricky. But in which case, you can always stay with Graham in the gallery, or go for a wee cup of tea in Bessie's. We'll always make sure that you're also well accommodated. And there you've got those really beautiful views over towards the Forth River. You can just see the spire of the townhouse just to the left, and that's the gardens of the palace. So we're now at the back of the palace. It's called a hanging garden. And it's just a lovely walk. Culross is a bit like Edinburgh, but just in miniature. You've got lots of little stairs and pathways and closes that lead you all over the place. So it really is a fun thing to do. So even if you're not coming to visit any of the attractions, just having a little walk around all the nooks and crannies, it's always good fun. Or at least I find it to be lots of fun. And you can just see there the gardeners in, discussing what they're going to be doing. And they've got chickens and a little chicken coop, and in the back there you can also see it. So now we're going to continue to walk up. So basically we just go up and up and up. But as you can see, there is respite. You're not continuously walking upstairs or walking up a hill. It's stairs along the path. Stairs along a path. So now we're coming a bit down, back. 2 seconds. Okay, so yeah, so here we're coming back down into the village, as you can see. And there's 2 ways. You can either go up, and we're going to go down. But there's the little pointer, so you can do this from different ways. But I just like the way that I've done it. I quite like this. It's called Hag's Wind. Culross has got quite a history of witchcraft. And again, if you're on our tour, you'll get to learn all about that. And here we go. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. The path is quite uneven. I mean, it's flat, but it's quite uneven. Some of the cobblestones are a bit loose, and they could be tripping hazards. So we just take our time. And if you take your time, you tend to be able to do this no problem at all. It's just we don't like to rush anything. And if you do join the group and mobility is a bit of a problem for you, but you can still join in, don't worry, we will not rush you. This is not going to be a race. We want everybody to have the best time that they can, and we're not going to rush anybody unnecessarily that you could end up hurting yourself or just in general not enjoying it. So we like to take our time, and we'll go at your pace. I am going quite quickly, as I said before, purely because I'm on my own. I'm making a video and I just want to demonstrate it, but we can do this a lot slower if required. And you can also see here, because it's winter time, there's a lot of moss on the cobblestones, making that little bit extra slippy. So again, just take your time. Now this, we're coming back down on to the back wind here, and you'll notice that we're coming into the Meerkat Cross. Now, the problem with this is that it's quite deceiving watching this on film, but the stones are quite curved and rounded, very uneven. And I had a lady who attempted to take a scooter up here, and the scooter just couldn't do it. So it's just worthwhile. If you want to get up, you take your time. It's not that far. If you don't want to do the full walk, it's only 5 minutes from where the townhouse was, for example, just to walk up the hill here. So it's not far. And if you take your time and walk down the middle stones, you should be okay. But there we have it. That's the study. And that was where they found Gaelis Duncan's house. And again, up the street there, what they did is they painted all of these houses grey during Outlander, just to set the scene. And this is the old nunnery. I'm just walking past and trying. At the time, as I'm walking here, there was a car in my way, which is why I'm quite close to this nunnery building here. But I'm just wanting to walk you quickly down. So this, everybody will know this is the path that Father Bain walks up with the two boys, that he has his ear nailed to the pillory. But that there is Lady's house in season 4. So a lot of people don't know that's there, but that's where it is. And it should be on any Outlander tour because it's a lovely building. And in the summer, if they're working on it, it's a lovely apple tree in the front there. There you go. That just gives you a sense of the scale. That's the study where Gaelis lives. And here we go. We're now going to walk up to the top. Now, this is quite a steep hill, and I often drive up and down here. Believe it or not, this is not a one-way. So I like to pump the horn as I come up or down here, just so that the cars on the other side know that there's a car coming in their direction, just to stop any potential mishaps. But the reason why I'm walking here is quite often, if we're doing on a private tour, like I mentioned before, sometimes I'll park at the top here deliberately. So we do a full circle and we park at the top so that we have the nice flat level there to get to the West Kirk at the beginning. But if you're on a normal Outlander tour with us, you will not be participating in this section. I just thought it's quite good for anyone who wants to go to Culross. If you continue going straight from here, I am not, but if you continue to go straight up here, you get to the old monastery ruins and the abbey. And they've also got a wee close there called Cat's Close and a public garden there to the right. But now we're just walking down back towards where I parked. And you can see this was an old well. A lot of missionaries would come past here because of its healing qualities. So Culross has had quite a history going way back. We're talking possibly 1600 years back to when it was a Pictish centre. And in fact, for anyone who's watching this from Glasgow, Culross is actually where St Mungo was born. And St Mungo is famous as being the patron saint of Glasgow. So if you go to the cathedral, St Mungo's Cathedral, the St Mungo's Museum, this is where the man himself was actually born, in Fife. So we're just carrying walking up to the top, just to give you a sense of the distance required. And strangely enough, I did only about 7,000 steps on this day, so it wasn't grotesque. It was easy walking. If it's filled with plenty of stops, it is okay for most people to do. I think really this is to show it for people who might need any assistance with mobility, such as a cane, a stick, a scooter, or a wheelchair. And hopefully, you know, we've had people who've had sight impairments on this walk as well, and they've managed no problem, obviously with some assistance, but we welcome people of all walks of life to join our tour and hope that you get a chance to experience it. And hopefully these types of videos will help you see what is possible for you. But most importantly, as I'm showing you this video, I'm doing it in such a way to show you the full route. If there's any point of this, you could say, okay, I'd like to walk the West Kirk. I'd like to walk up the Hanging Gardens or something like that, but you don't want to do the whole thing. We are able to assist you in that way as well. Like I said, there's plenty to do in Culross. You could have a cup of tea or go and visit Graham, go and see the shop, or even go into the pub. So it's a really great accessible visit if you know what you're getting yourself in for. So thank you for listening and for watching the video, and hopefully we'll see you on tour soon. Take care. Bye.
There you go. So that was a video. I hope you all enjoyed it. That was a wee video that I did, like I said, in February. I put on my walking boots and I decided to do a couple of special mobility walks at some of our properties and sites. I did Castle. I did Culross as well. My plan was also to do Black Ness, but I got to Black Ness. It must have been about 3 o'clock, and this is winter time. And do you know what I did, guys? I just had a blether with the staff. I was missing them. I'm missing them again. I'm missing all my pals from tour. But anyway, I stood chatting to them because it was quite miserable by the time I got to Black Ness. And actually, funny enough, because you'll notice I kept it kind of straight, and that's because we have a gimbal. But the problem with the gimbal is that and with recording so much, because I've also doing Castle on this day, it just completely ate all of my battery. So I'm like, I had battery packs, I had driving about in the car, like charging as we're driving, and it just wasn't like working. I had 2 phones as well, like to record it, and it just didn't work. It was actually, I wish we had our blooper reel, because it's funny because when I got to Doon Castle and I got to Doon, I decided I'll just go to Doon first, and I got to Doon and I had the gimbal and everything was going fine, and I'm walking down, and then I'm walking up the pathway to Doon and I see my pal and I'm like, hi, and he's like, hi, and I'm just like pointing at him and nobody knows like what I'm doing anyway, or because helmet cut him out. I was like, that's a sin. Anyway, I got inside Doon, and then the gimbal just started like spinning. I just look like a right idiot with this phone going completely mental. So no, I do these funny things myself every now and then, just to kind of give you guys an idea. And I know, as much as we've got a lot of people coming to Scotland or hoping to come to Scotland, I know that there are going to be people in this earth who won't ever get to Scotland because of whatever ailment or situation that they are in. So I also do those videos just to kind of share the love a wee bit. You know, I'm not in any position to take every single tourist that comes to Scotland around, and therefore I try to spread the love a little bit. Yeah, I just want to read some of the comments here. I don't know if anyone had any questions. I was trying to answer them as you were going through, but you could see Helmut had to like help me because I had no idea what was happening. The sound wasn't working initially. Eventually we got it going, but I still don't quite understand what he did. I'm going to have to do that again. But I see, Trish, you were on tour, Trish, with me. I think we did was it the Outlander tour? Yeah, it was the Outlander tour you did with me as well. Helen, once this virus is gone, get to Culross. And I know we'll book a tour for when I'm next visiting. Awesome. Wonderful. And Jerry, yes, I remember taking you up. And you actually sat with Graham for a bit as well, I remember. I think I took you twice, Jerry, to Culross. Karen, you enjoyed it. So there you go. So lots of different things as you go through. And hopefully I'll be sharing some more of them now that we've got this whole software thing, and I'll get, like, at some point in the near future I'll be able to do it without any glitches whatsoever. So just before I go then, got a couple of minutes left, just to remind you all about tomorrow's tour. It will be an Outlander tour in a very similar format. So it will be through Zoom. So I'll be sharing my screen, doing a couple of walkthroughs that you saw there. We'll have some music, we'll have some images, we'll have any questions, we'll have some Outlander chat, because I think some of you will have noticed I was in the show. I worked with Sam. I have been doing Outlander tours for a long time. I was able to get a private studio tour in season 3. Very lucky to have managed to get that. So I was taken around and shown all the different places in different areas. So, you know, if you have any questions about the filming or about the show or about anything Outlander related, I should be able to answer your questions because, you know, I've been doing it for that long. So we're going to be doing the Outlander tour tomorrow, and Thursday is going to be Stirling Castle. Stirling Castle, Loch Lomond, and the Trossachs. So if you'd like to do a little bit of Stirling Castle, see a bit of Loch Lomond, we'll get a bit of Loch Lomond song on. It's going to be a good tour. They do run for about an hour and a half, I'm not going to lie. Trying to get these tours into an hour is almost impossible. So if you are going to join, just make sure you give yourself that time. You deserve it. And we'll get going. So before we go, thank you so much for listening and for watching my wee video. And I might do something similar tomorrow with another location. So we'll put another video together. I might even show you the pictures from, you know, do a slideshow, voiceover slideshow that you guys can watch with me. And then, yeah, so if there's any questions at all, in the meantime, you know where I am. And I can see some people have just bought some tickets. So I can't wait to see all of you who are coming tomorrow morning. Oh, one moment. I've just received something. Oh, God. I've just received a picture from Patty. Patty, thanks, Patty. From the gala, because I helped organise the My Peak Challenge gala in 2017. So I've just received some pictures from people who were there. So thank you, Patty. It's all good fun. And there was something else I was going to quickly say, because I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, I can't wait to see you all tomorrow who've joined. So I've got all your tickets that have just come in. For those of you who've told me you can't make it, but you'd like the link for afterwards, fantastic. If any of you here would like the link for afterwards, if you can't do it, no problem. Kateri, Kat, I'll send you a message with the link, and you can have a wee look at that. Stuart, it's PM. I don't know if you'll be able to do it because it's being a postman and all that. But the link, as I said before, the link will be available for those. You just have to buy me a wee coffee. So we're doing all this effort. We're going to kind of up our game now, hopefully, so that we're bringing you a little bit more value, and I can spend a bit more time doing it for you. And yeah, so that's it. So excuse the dried, didn't even, God, didn't blow dry it, just let it dry naturally. So thanks again. Any questions about the tour, anything, feel free to direct messages. Guys, if you're on YouTube, you probably haven't got a clue what I'm talking about. Go and have a look at our Facebook page at Slange Scotland, or on our website. You'll see on one of the banners across, it's actually got the link, which is slangescotland.com/Scotland is waiting. And if you go there, you'll see virtual tours will come up first, and you can actually book your ticket directly, and it's much easier than sending you to buy a coffee. However, if you want it afterwards, that's the way we're going to have to do it. But at least you've got your ticket, you've got your time, and we're going to treat it like a proper tour. So I'm going to be all suited and booted tomorrow. I'm going to be on my kilt, in my gilet, and as you know, as a lot of you will have recognized me, but cheers, I'm going to go because I'm blethering. No problem, Trish. I'll get in touch with you as well. So I'm going to stop the broadcast now, but if you have any more questions, please keep them coming, and I'll come to them even after we finish. So don't worry about it if I'm no longer live. Okay, so I want you to have a wonderful evening. I hope you enjoyed Culross. It's still available if you go to our YouTube channel, guys. It's in our list of videos, or if you want to find it quicker, it's just Slange Scotland Culross, and you'll find it that way. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and feel free to share this, and I'll see you all tomorrow night. Take care. Bye. Mwah.